November 5th at 0307 past 0326. Also heard on that frequency by Ron Howard, November 10th. They just signed on at 0252. Very poor reception, however, according to his log. Then Ron found another new frequency for YHWH, 5950 AM, November 12th. Tune in at 0254 until off at 0335. He says it was always recorded programming before, but this time there was a live on-air segment. And the speaker called himself Josiah. Paul Booker in Florida, along with his friends XM and MR, says Radio Logos, Chasuta, Tarapoto, Peru, remains the strongest signal from that country on 60 meters, 4810. On 10 October from 1000 to 1010, it was heard, and 0958 to 1045, starting with an Ideas Radio Logos, mixed with beautiful flauta andina, vocalist, and strong signal. But other mornings, only noted a carrier with some breaks, may indicate transmitter issues. Back on 7 October, nothing at 10:10, and a carrier with no audio at 10:22. More recently, on 6 November at 10:30, a carrier was on but no audio, and then a break back at 10:45 to 10:55, again with carrier only. Well, in the evenings when I try to hear it, I can only barely detect a carrier, if anything, and there's always that utility interference on the high side. And Denim Radio DX, the Rus DX, Vasily Lazarev in Russia, reports something on 7200 kilohertz, perhaps a pirate. And Denim Radio DX and Open DX, Alexander Golovijin in Tolyatti, Russia, says he also heard a station November 6th with a strong signal on 7200, patriotic songs in Russian. He says the station was launched from the Rosoflansky offices of the Communist Party of the Voronezh region, ostensibly last year, but further information is needed. Jean-Michel Aubier in France found something surprising on the voiceofrussia.com website dated November 10th. We are excited to announce that the Voice of Russia is changing its name and moving over to a new website. We will now be known as Sputnik News Agency and Radio. You can find all of the stories from our London bureau at uk.sputniknews.com. Update your bookmarks and stay with us. There's also been a lot of other press about this, such as in the Telegraph via Chuck Albertson. No specifics on how all those hours of radio programming will be distributed, whether it's podcasts from a website, or if they're planning to fire up those transmitters in Petropavlovsk again for those of us on the West Coast. I must point out that although most people think of Sputnik as the name of the first satellite, the word in Russian actually means fellow traveler, which has unfortunate connotations, at least in the West. The British DX Club, Alan Pendleton, quotes more of what's on the SputnikNews.com website. A major new media brand with modern multimedia centers in dozens of countries will go live November 10th. All of Sputnik's multimedia centers in major world capitals will maintain their own websites and broadcast from local radio stations. In 2015, Sputnik will broadcast in 30 languages with over 800 hours of radio programming a day, covering over 130 cities and 34 countries. Sputnik's exclusive content is designed for a global audience of billions who are tired of aggressive propaganda, promoting a unipolar world and want a different perspective. The flagship site is www.sputniknews.com. Kai Ludwig in Germany says the English radio program is already migrated to the new website, to which en.ria.ru redirects now, and is indeed presented as Radio Sputnik, with the exception of the odd Radio VR that for now escaped the scissors. It appears they have already left the former Radio Moscow building and moved over to the RIA Novosti Russia Today headquarters, and the same goes for Russian radio.